It's her second time here in Geneva. She was here last September. She's probably one of the more high-profile mothers that have been going around all kinds of venues to seek justice and to find her son, who was snatched away in April 28, 2007, in broad daylight, in a crowded mall in Metro Manila. She is also a member of the religious group and a media practitioner in her own right. Let us welcome and listen to the words of Dr. Burgos.
Good afternoon. What a difference a day makes, so goes the song. So I wonder out aloud, what more for a year? My son has been disappeared for more than a year. Other children have been disappeared for years and years, and still the mothers, brothers, and families are looking for them. And yet, we the victims, because it's not only the disappeared or the killed who are the victims, but the families as well who must endure a day-to-day torture wondering what happened to their loved ones, who are also the victims. We cannot accept what the government has said a few months ago, that the government has done something to eradicate extrajudicial killings and disappearances. Because to my mind, going through the experience of looking for Jonas, it is not the government who has done this, but because some people, especially the NGOs like the Karapatan and the legal lawyers, to which Attorney Edro Olale belongs, it is because they are very noisy, and that is the reason why some international groups pay attention, and also why the government is pressured, and also why killings and disappearances have been reduced. But as Father Reyes says, one disappearance is one too many. One killing is one too many. To us, we are still in ground zero from the time that our loved one is abducted. Why? Because nothing for us has changed. The truth is still denied us. Killings continue. Disappearances not only continue, but take other forms. Just a few days ago, before I left, a former member of the Palais Editors Guild of the Philippines, Randy Malayao, was abducted in Metro Manila. He was able to text a family, friend, and he said in his text message that he was being followed. The next day, he was disappeared. 4 days after, he surfaced in a jail about 400 kilometers away from Metro Manila. The military has owned the abduction, but they say that he was not disappeared, but was arrested for a crime committed in the north. To this day, to the time when I left the Philippines, Randy Malayao has not been seen by any member of the family. I talked to his brother. They do not know what state he is in. The lawyers have not been allowed into the compound where the jail is, and the jail is in a camp. I know this because my lawyer was one of the lawyers who requested to see him because Malayao was a personal friend of my lawyer. One wonders what tortures Randy has endured. And this comes in the wake of the signing of the protocol for tortures. Today, still the culture of impunity happens. Still pervades killings and disappearances. And I can say so as a first-hand witness. I have witnessed how in court, the hostile witnesses who are military officers answer questions of the lawyers with so much arrogance because they know that they cannot be punished. It makes us squirm in our chairs when they peddle lies under oath during the hearings of my son's case. After they say one thing in front of media, the next day under oath, these military officers deny that they said the same things. 16 sessions, 13 witnesses, and 10 months after the case has been filed with the Supreme Court, we still do not know if Jonas is alive or dead. The crime continues. Impunity rules the actions of the perpetrators. Meanwhile, new forms of human rights violations crop up. Today, as it was then, only indomitable souls can believe in the victory over darkness. And only the foolish and the arrogant, now suffused with power, especially the President of the Philippines, can believe that they can keep the truth hidden from us forever. But the reckoning is yet to come. I affirm the findings of our first two speakers, that we are under threat. I have been followed, I am still being followed. All my phones are still tapped. My car, while it was parked, was run from behind by a bus whose driver had no license, who had no business to be on the road because it was an illegal bus, there was no franchise, and the police did not investigate our complaint. Now we cannot find the owner and the driver because they have changed their addresses, they gave false addresses. My phone was stolen during the hearings at the Court of Appeals, and the people seated behind us belonged to the other group. My wallet was stolen after 3 men, big burly men, hemmed me in while I was going into a public transportation. They would probably be disappointed because I only had 300 pesos there, but all my IDs, identification cards were in that wallet. With all these threats, we do not fear for our lives. We fear for our children who will be continued to disappear, and they pounce on the people who are outspoken and would have been the future leaders of the Philippines. My son was very outspoken, but he had a very Christian heart, and they say that he was a communist. And I challenge them, no one can say he's more Christian than my son, who was so selfless he gave his shirt away. So with God's grace, we shall witness the day of reckoning. With your help, that reckoning will come very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Edith. You hear, after hearing from Father Rex Reyes, for the information of our distinguished guest, the head of the Philippine Human Rights Watch, followed by